What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 53. Man, I'm back again. I'm back again. On this one right here, I have to fulfill a request. I have to fulfill a request that I know it's at least 2 or 3 different dudes have been getting at me about for the last couple of weeks. And they've been on my head. Tune, tell us a story about the GDs. Tell us a story about the GDs. Give us a story about the GDs. They want to know about the GDs. And for those who don't know what GD is, it means Gangster Disciples or Growth and Development. It is a, I'm not going to call them a gang because most of the GDs I ran across, they don't come up under the title of a gang. They like to come up under the title of an organization. But at the end of the day, they a gang just like Crips and Bloods. Anyway, so dudes have been over and over and over asked me about a story, and I was like, dang, this is the dilemma that I run into sometimes. People that are just coming to the foundation, they want me to tell them stories about certain stuff, but the cold part about it is, a lot of times what y'all asking me to give y'all stories about now are things that I've spoke on 2 years ago, that I've given a story about 2 years ago, and you just missed it. And so it's not like I have 50 million stories about certain topics. You know what I'm saying? I don't have 50 million stories about no topic. So if I've spoke on it several times years ago, and then now here new people come, they want to hear it. I don't make up stories. I can't make up a story, not on something like this. But it's like, dang, if I give you the story that I said before, you got people jumping in the comments. Tune, you told this before. You said this before. So anyway, I'm just letting people know who might say, "Oh, I heard that before." That once I get a lot of requests to hear something, I got to give the people what they want. Now, if you heard it before, you don't want to really listen to it, hey, click, boom, catch me tomorrow. But anyway, on and on. I like to let y'all know, like I've been letting you know, come Monday the 11th, this coming Monday, March 11th, for my paid subscribers, I'm gonna be giving up a story that I haven't really spoke on, but a lot of people been wanting to know, and it's about what happened with me, what took place the night I got put on the set. You know what I'm saying? And that's the story that I'm gonna give y'all. But I'm only gonna give it to the paid subscribers. My regular subscribers, you won't be able to hear this one. The people that listen to my stories that are not subscribed, you won't be able to hear it. This is a perk. This is just a little perk. Not nothing against my regular subscribers, but this is just a perk that I have to give to my paid subscribers. Because if I do not give my paid subscribers something a little bit more, then why even be a paid subscriber? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's that. But this coming Monday, March 11th. Okay, boom. Now, on to the thing. GD, Gangster Disciple. Okay, this is not a term that's widely used in California. Here it is in this day and age, 2024, the world went from 50 years ago being this big to, in this day and age, the world is only this big now. Everybody's heard of everything. Everybody's, interested and involved in some of everything. Okay, now, for those who are not aware or who don't know, live in different countries, different parts of the planet, GD, Gangster Disciple, that is a predominant gang that started in Chicago, Illinois. It spread all over the Southeast. It's not real big on the West Coast. Cali, LA, we don't have disciples. We don't have vice lords. We only have Crips, Bloods, and Hoovers. That's it. Are there dudes that's living in California that are disciples? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Of course. You got dudes move from different states, you know what I'm saying, that are disciples, and you know, they live there. But as far as LA having an established area, established set zone that says, okay, this right here is GD, no, don't have it. Okay, so now for the brothers that had been really wanting me to speak on the GDs, and I said, okay, I'll give you a story. I'm gonna give you a story that goes back to 1986, 5, 7, one of those years. I was on my way to prison on a violation. I was on my way back to prison. And so I go to Chino. When you catch a case in Cali, Chino at that time was the main reception center for any and everybody coming from Southern California. So boom, I go to Chino on a violation, and I'm in Sycamore. Now, for those who know, Sycamore is a unit which we call, at that time, we used to call them halls, Sycamore Hall. And I'm on the 3rd tier. I'm coming down the tier, and I forget what cell exactly, the cell that they tell me to go to. So I go to the cell. When I get to the cell, it's a dude in there doing push-ups. He got his feet, he on the ground doing push-ups. His feet is going back, and it's going at a slant, and his feet are up on the desk. And he doing push-up. Boom, boom, boom. Swole, you know what I'm saying? Nice little size on him. So he was short though, short and stocky. I give him, he couldn't have been no more to me at the time. He might have been about 5'9", about 5'9", but real heavily muscled. So now when I get to the gate, the police down the tier, they rack the gate. It opened up. So when the gate started opening up, the guy that was doing push-ups on the ground, he look up, he stand up. He go to dusting his hands off. Now, I don't step in the gate, because at that time, you know, moving into a dude's cell, you know, you let them know, hey man, you know, what's happening. You need to know, you want to know what you moving in with. You know what I'm saying? If it's going to be conducive to your program. So now I'm standing there, I got my little property sitting right here on the floor in front of me. So now when I look at the cat, when he stand up, he got BGD on his stomach. And he got a pitchfork going through it. Now at this time, I don't know what a BGD is. I don't know what this I don't know what this pitchfork is. I don't know what none of this is. So now when he stood up, I'm like, dang, I see the B. The G and the D didn't even register to me. Only thing that registered to me was the B. So I'm like, dang, what? First thing hit my mind, I know the police ain't playing these type games. So I'm standing there, when he stepped, I'm like, shoot, I'm like, what's up, cuz? You know what I'm saying? I cuz him off the rip. Because now if he was a blood, he's going to check that. He go, hey man, I ain't no Crip. You feel me? So I'm like, shoot, what's up, cuz? So the dude like, man, what's up, man? I'm like, shoot, homie, where you from? So he said, I'm from Chicago. I look, it throwed me. Chicago? Thank you. Ain't no Crip or Blood said in LA called Chicago. But I see this B. But I'm like, nah, ain't no Blood said in LA that I know of. BGD. All right. So he said, I'm from Chicago. I'm like, Chicago? I'm like, no, cuz. I'm like, homie, no, what set you from? He said, homie, I'm not from no set. So I'm looking like you're not from no set. So I said, I'm like, cuz, you ain't from no set? He like, no. I say, well, homie, what do that mean on your stomach? He's like, it's BGD. He said, this means Black Gangster Disciple. I said, so now I'm going through my mind, y'all. I'm going through my mind. Black Gangster Disciple. Like, what is that? I'm like, that is ain't no Bloods in LA called Black Gangster Disciples. What? So now you gotta look, y'all. You gotta look. In this day and age, you tell a person you're a disciple, people gonna know because of social media. The world ain't nothing but this big now. People will know, but you gotta look. Social media wasn't around back in the mid 1980s. So ain't nobody in LA never heard of nothing called a disciple. The only term you know of a disciple is something in the Bible, which is what I hit him with. I said, he said, I'm a disciple. I said, what you talk about, like in the Bible? He said, no, man, I'm BGD, Black Gangster Disciple. He said, it's an organization in Chicago. I said, Chicago? Yeah. I say, so now, my brain's spinning right now. So I'm like, yeah, all right. I said, listen, homie, you a Blood? He like, no, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I said, okay, so now in my mind, I'm like, okay, we ain't no Blood, I can move in. So I tell him, I said, well, look, homie, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna move in. This boom, boom, boom. He like, yeah. So I come on in, you know what I'm saying? He introduces, he said, brother name was Roscoe. He said, man, I'm Roscoe. I'm like, all right, homie, I'm Cartoon. I'm from East Side Avalon. So now he didn't know what I was talking about, period. He said, East Side, he like, what? I said, homie, I'm a Crip, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the name of my gang, Avalon Gangster Crips. So he like, oh, okay, of course, you know what I'm saying? He locked up in Cali. Of course, he know what a Crip and a Blood is. So we sit down, we go to talking, we go to chopping it up. We chopping it up, y'all. He proceeds to tell me what a disciple is. Because I asked him, I say, well, what's all that? What you got going on? What do all that mean? So he started telling me about, we somewhat like y'all, but we somewhat like y'all, but we are a lot different. So he started telling me, he'd been in LA for a minute. He had family in LA. He came out here to visit with him. He ended up catching a case. So now he'd been in LA long enough to know the difference between Crips and Bloods, disciples and vice lords. So bang, he explaining to me what what a disciple is, what a vice lord is, and he started telling me about a whole lot of other stuff. He started telling me about something called Mickey Cobra Stones. He started telling me about something called Dale Vikings and all the different little organizations and gangs that they had going on in Chicago, which at that time I had never heard of, period. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know nothing about them. So boom, he go to telling me about it, who they beef with, who they get along with. So I'm like, all right, well, cool. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, this was 1987. I remember it now. 1987. I'm coming back on a violation. So I'm like, okay, all right. So now I asked him, I say, well, what about the fork? Now, I didn't even know how to call it a pitchfork at the time. I thought it was a big old, fork, just a regular fork. So he said, that's a pitchfork. So he go to tell me that's one of their symbols and, this and this. So I'm like, for real? I'm like, dang. So he telling me all type of stuff. I'm like, man, dang, y'all got to go through too much. You got to remember too much, this, that, and the other. So even back then at the time, I didn't know nothing about a handshake. I had never even seen or heard anything about a handshake until I end up coming to Alabama and getting locked up. So bang. So Roscoe, he turned out to be a cool dude, man. Turned out to be a cool dude. Told me about a whole lot of stuff. And to the point to where when I left him and I end up going to prison, I was in lockup. And this was years later. I was in lockup, and one of the homies in the lockup, oh man, the homie Hoodie. I gotta ask Hoodie about him. But anyway, the homie Hoodie, I'm in the cell, I'm in the lockup cell with a homie named Snake from San Diego 40s in Hood. And so when I moved in that day, we kicked it all that day, chopped it up, talk. So the next morning, when they served the breakfast trays, I got up to get the breakfast trays. So now I get the one tray, I get the other tray. So when I turn and I hand it to Snake, he had a pitchfork on his arm. Wasn't no letters or anything around it, but it was a pitchfork. And I remember what Roscoe had told me. So I see it, so I'm like, and after we ate, what I'm saying, we ate. He was getting to go back to sleep, so I asked him, I'm like, cuz. He like, man, what's up, Tone? I'm like, homie, what the, I say, that's a pitchfork on your arm. He looked at it, he looked at me like, yeah, how you know that? So you know me, I'm trying to act like I'm just well-rounded, like I know everything, like, you know what I'm saying? I've just been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just the gang historian of the world. So he like, man, how you know? What you know about that? I'm like, oh shoot, man, I know everything, man. I said that's a disciple sign. When I said it, he kind of like, what? He like, Tune, where you from? I'm like, shoot, homie, I'm from East Side Avalon. He like, no, cuz, what state are you from? What city? Where you from on the street? What city? Where was you born and raised? I'm like, in LA. He said, you ain't never lived in Chicago? I'm like, no, homie. He like, how you know what a disciple is and what this means? So I started laughing, but I went on and came clean. I drug him for a little bit, dragging him along like I just, and he was baffled with this. And he was like, so I went on and told him, I say, homie, I told him about Roscoe. And you know how I met Roscoe and a lot of stuff that Roscoe had told me. So he like, yeah, he said, man, I'm originally from Chicago. He said, before I moved to Cali, he said I was a disciple. When I lived in Chicago, I've been a disciple. I became a disciple when I was a young kid. He said I moved to LA when I was 14 or 15. And he said when he moved to San Diego, at least, when he was 14 or 15. And he said out there, what he was about, it was none of that. So he went on and became a Crip because he moved into a Crip hood. And but yeah, that's what that was. And so he was like, dang, I tripped him out, man, when I spoke on it. But yeah, for the brother who wanted me to speak on the GDs, that's just a quick little story about how I first ran across the GDs. Well, and when I first ran across them, like I say, they was 274. They was BGD. Now, I do have other stories about the Alabama prison system when I was out here, when word came down from Chicago that no more 274. 74 GD, that's it. And when the dudes in the Alabama prison system received word, they went on a spree. They went on a rampage. They put word out to all the 274s, because 274s was the dominant factor at that time in Alabama. And they put word out to all the BGDs. It's no more. Everybody got to turn GD. Now, of course, this was not received well from a whole lot of people. It turned into a bloodbath. I spoke on that story before. It's in there. I spoke on it before, but it got real ugly, man. Because you had some dudes that was straight up refusing to let the BGD thing go and just turn GD. No, they wasn't gonna do it. They wasn't gonna do it, and it turned into a real live wing ding. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother story that I spoke on before. But yeah, man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 53. And I just had to give my constituents, my foundation members, who had been asking me, man, speak on the GDs, too. I had to speak on them like that. I had to speak on them. But anyway, man, like I tell you, in the end of the day, stay safe. Stay above ground, man. Stay safe and stay above ground, man. Peace. What? I represent the gangsters. I'm out.